What's up? Welcome back to Skate. I'm here at this spot where I was playing off camera, and it took me about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get this trick, which I made a short of. Grind this rail and then foot plant that lamp post. I doubt it's going to work, but just you can kind of see the process. Give it a few attempts, but I don't expect to land it. Certainly not as cleanly as I did in that short. I think in season 3 they will work on the foot plants, which I think is much needed. Yeah, that's as close as I'm gonna get, I think. Which is good news because I do like foot plants. And related to foot plants, although I suppose in a way they are foot plants, there was one challenge, I forget, or one task, I should say. Yeah, the last one. Earn 666 score in sequences starting with an frontside boneless. It's kind of funny, an frontside boneless. Which kind of made me realize that these kinds of tricks, all the plants, that they're quite fun to mess around with. Let's go to my favorite area. So you can do stuff like that, which is kind of sick. They do take a bit of timing, and it's not super easy to get the timing right, because you weirdly travel forwards a bit between the point where you set your foot down and the point where you actually launch. See, I feel like I should have made that. So basically, you have to do those boneless type tricks a bit sooner than you normally would. I hope when they work on these plant tricks that they will mostly just make your launch a bit higher. Some are a bit different, like this is fairly high. This is really not that high. I don't know. It's a bit inconsistent. I like to do this, but it rarely works. Got a quick gap between those benches. That's kind of cool. As you may have seen, I'm seriously considering picking up streaming again. I used to stream quite a bit in the past. At some point it was the only thing I did. I started with videos, then also started streaming. In fact, it's possible I was streaming first. It's hard to remember. But yeah, then at some point, streaming was the only thing I did and no videos. Excuse my throat. I was a bit sickish earlier this week. And I thought I was recovered, but apparently not. I'm kind of curious how streaming would go, because it's been a very long time. I have done maybe 2 live streams in the last year, maybe 2 years, on this channel. I think I explained it in that community post, but streaming on PlayStation without all the necessary peripherals, ouch. It's just not great. As in streaming straight from the console without any kind of capture card. But, and that brings me to the actual point I want to make in a very roundabout way, is that I bought a better video card for my PC so I can actually play all these games on PC as well, which will allow me to stream. It should, anyway. For your tech nerds, it's a Sapphire RX 9070 XT Pulse. I was planning to buy the 9060 XT, but last minute I decided to spring for the 9070. That was a weird emphasis, but the 9070 instead of the 60. I installed Skate and Session and BMX Streets maybe sometime last week. Doesn't really matter when, but before I bought the card, to see if my kind of ancient RX 480 could handle those games in any capacity. And the answer was mostly no. BMX Streets worked twice on low, and the other few times I tried... Oh, that was cool. I could barely get the menu to run because it was like single digits, low single digits FPS in the menus, so that was not great. Session, I tried it 3 times, I think. Both first times it just crashed as I was in the character creation thing when you first start up the game. And one time I did actually manage to get into the game proper. But even on 1080p, on the very lowest settings, which looked awful, it still was very much unplayable. And in Skate, again on 1080p low, I got into the game. I was able to play it technically, but it was very bad and just barely playable, but you know, nothing like how it should run. So yeah, it was very safe to say that either that old card, the RX 480, was just straight up not capable to run those games, even though I feel like it should have at least been playable on the lowest settings. So either it was never meant to be played on a card like that, or there was something technically wrong with my card, which made everything unplayable. Scorpion. Sure. All this is kind of to show that I did give it all the chances in the world to not have to buy a new video card. But yeah, as it turns out, I really did if I wanted to play anything. Like even Spelunky 2 was not playable, which, now that I think of it, is extra strange because I have played Spelunky 2 rather, with that old video card before I built my new PC, so not really sure what's up with that. But I guess it was proof that there was something wrong with my specific card. So yeah. Today I installed the new one. So far it's working very great. I'm a bit hesitant to turn everything on Ultra or whatever the highest settings are called. I think in session it's called Epic, not Ultra. But yeah, both BMX Streets and Skate and Session all run at or in 4K, at least on high settings. Probably should be fine on Ultra as well. Maybe not at the highest frame rates, but my standards for frame rates are very low, or relatively low. Because my monitor can only do 4K 60 FPS. So yeah, anything above 60 is kind of a waste anyway. Which means I can just turn everything up until it starts going below 60, and then, you know, that's the threshold, so to speak. Very long story short is that I should be able to stream. I will be trying to record a few things. Just to see if that works, but I think if recording works, then streaming should also work. Okay. And then it's just a matter of setting up OBS, which should be fairly straightforward. It's highly unlikely there will be any kind of streaming schedule. It's probably just going to be a very occasional thing, at least for now. But, you know, depending on how it goes, I might work it into a very vague kind of schedule. Oh, I think I've done this at least once, but probably not on camera. But in the same vein as that picnic table gap, can do this, which is kind of fun. Let's do a 50-50 to nose blunt to fakie. Can I do a flip in between? It was meant to be a kickflip. Oh. Accidental, but also cool. I feel like something changed. Because if this is the slowest scrub speed, that's kind of worrying. You used to be able to actually play it in slow motion just by scrubbing. Now it's very, like, I'm doing the slightest touches. It still doesn't really work. Researching GPUs and having to actively work on my PC and just check online how to do things reminds me how much of a... I don't even know the word. How confusing the PC parts world is. Because everyone has their opinion, which is fine, but then they state their opinion as fact that this GPU is better than this one because of such and such. And yeah, it makes it very easy for someone who isn't very knowledgeable to make an informed decision. I apologize if I'm not doing any structured skating, but hopefully, while my brain is focusing on being somewhat coherent, hopefully I can still do some interesting stuff in the game. Having now played BMX Streets for maybe already 2 hours or so, at least an hour, I can say it's very fun. And it's kind of fun to have, or, well, this will sound a bit conceited, but it's kind of fun to learn a game like this from scratch. Because I've been playing Session for 3 years, maybe 4, ever since it came out on console. I'm new to this skate, but I played Skate 2 and 3, so it's not exactly new. But yeah, BMX Streets is very different. I mean, it has similarities, of course. Like, you bunny hop the same way you would ollie in Skate, not in Session. But it takes a bit of a different mentality to play a game like that compared to a skateboarding game. Because, you know, a bike has different limitations, and yeah, it just behaves differently than a skateboard. obviously. And it's fun to suck at a game like that. And not because the game is bad, but because you don't have the skills yet. It's a very different kind of experience. I was thinking if I could it's not exactly what I meant, but this would also be cool. It's very tight. I think it can be done. Oof. I really wish the replay editor would work the way it always does. Maybe I accidentally changed this. No. Oh, it might be because of this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, kind of cool. And then there is also this gap from here down to there. Never really skated much here. It's kind of cool to discover all these new spots. How did I get the clearance that first time? Okay, fine. Before I end the video, maybe just to show, because I bought some stuff, not with real money. I forget where I got these wheels. I think they were from a box. It's possible I bought them with bucks. I would prefer if they were fully black and not black and yellow, but yeah. And these trucks, again, would be nice if they were fully black. I do like this sweater, but I have to be somewhat frugal with my San Van bucks, because the only way I can get them is by the grace of the devs, if they ever give them for free, which I don't think they ever do. Or I have to buy them here, which is what I tend to do, so I can save up for like 200 and then get one of the cheaper items from the store. But I didn't actually know that I had unlocked page 10, so yeah, I'll buy this. And this grip. And I think that's going to be everything I want from the whole skate pass. I bought all the gear, all the boards and grips and clothes that I can buy. And I guess I might as well buy these stickers, but I kind of refuse to as a statement. And like these profile images, I'm just not interested in, so I'm not going to spend my ticks on them. Hopefully, if I save up on these, I mean, if I keep a surplus of these ticks, maybe in future skate passes I'll be able to get a bit more stuff than I could otherwise. So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off on everything I don't really want, which is pretty much everything. There's nothing I can get for 100, and there's nothing I really want except these shoes, but they're too expensive. And from the Halloween event, Skatoween event, I already bought everything I want. Again, not the stickers, and not this, whatever this is. Not sure if this is a hat, or I guess I can buy this. It doesn't really matter. Again, a surplus of ticks, which I probably will never be able to spend, because I assume it's only for this event, and there won't be future events where you can use the same currency. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. As always, thank you for watching and for listening, and I will get run over by a car. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.